October 12, 2024, 2:15 a.m., Austin, Texas. Inside a high-security server room, a single red light begins to blink. It is an automated system alert. For 3 years, a tech startup called Nexus Blockchain Solutions was hailed as the future of digital finance. At the center of this multi-million-dollar empire was one man, Ethan Kross. He was a 24-year-old software prodigy. The company was on the verge of launching a revolutionary decentralized protocol securing massive institutional funds on October 15, 2024. But on the morning of October 13, everything changed. Marcus Vance arrived at the office early. He tried to log into the primary master node. Access denied. The system threw a fatal error code. Marcus immediately called Ethan, but it went straight to voicemail. David Choi hadn't heard from him either. Sensing trouble, they drove straight to Ethan's luxury Austin apartment. The door was unlocked. The apartment was completely empty. The custom computers Ethan used to write his code were completely missing. On the kitchen counter lay a single item, Ethan's corporate laptop, completely melted down with industrial thermite. It was a total, calculated physical wipe. Marcus immediately logged into the company's public blockchain ledger from his phone. What he saw made his blood run cold. The primary cold storage repository holding all early investor assets was completely empty. $50 million in Bitcoin had vanished. The funds had been scrambled across anonymous privacy networks through complex, automated smart contracts. Ethan Kross, the golden boy of Texas tech, had deleted his entire social media presence. He deactivated his phone numbers, erased his personal emails, and vanished off the face of the earth. The FBI's cybercrime division was notified within hours. Special Agent Sarah Jenkins took charge of the investigation. Physical escape tracks yielded nothing. No airport footage, flight manifests, or travel logs existed. Back in Austin, the fallout was devastating. Linda Kross sat in her living room, weeping as federal agents searched her home. But Chloe, Ethan's sister, revealed a creeping red flag that she had noticed just 2 weeks prior to the disappearance. Chloe remembered a strange conversation during a family dinner. Ethan had asked if she would still love him if he decided to leave everything behind and live in the wilderness forever. Chloe laughed it off at the time. She also noticed that Ethan had stopped wearing his favorite custom mechanical watch, replacing it with a rugged, military-grade smartwatch that he constantly modified in his private workshop. For months, the investigation stalled. Headlines across the country screamed about the crypto prodigy fugitive. Experts wondered how he bypassed advanced blockchain security. 2 years passed. The year was now 2026. With zero active leads, the case grew completely cold. The stolen $50 million remained dormant in unmarked wallets. Ethan was playing the long game. The story shifts thousands of miles away from the tech hubs of Texas to the South Pacific. Rarotonga, a remote volcanic island in the Cook Islands. In a quiet coastal village on the island, a man built an unassuming life. Locals knew him as Arthur Pendleton. He was a ghost in paradise, paying only in cash. Arthur spent 3 years planning his escape. He traveled under a highly sophisticated, fraudulent passport and routed his offline encrypted satellite connection through 7 proxy countries, believing he was completely invisible. But even the most brilliant minds make one fatal mistake. It was May 14th, 2026. Arthur was preparing his gear for a deep-sea fishing trip. He reached into his storage locker and pulled out his military-grade smartwatch, the exact one his sister Chloe had seen him modify years ago. For 24 months, the watch remained powered down inside a signal-blocking Faraday bag. But Arthur needed to calibrate his marine navigation tools. He pulled it out. He pressed power. The screen glowed to life. Arthur assumed his location was secure on a private satellite loop. But 6 months prior, the FBI had seized that satellite provider's logs. Agent Sarah Jenkins had left a script hidden inside the database, watching for the watch's custom MAC address. The moment the watch booted up on that remote island, it automatically initiated an encrypted cloud handshake to sync its internal master clock. The transmission lasted for exactly 1.8 seconds. 1,000 miles away, in a dark office in Washington, D.C., a terminal screen turned bright red. A loud alarm echoed through the room. The script caught the handshake. The payload contained precise GPS coordinates on a beach in Rarotonga. The footprint was dropped. Agent Jenkins did not waste a second. She coordinated immediately with international authorities and local Cook Islands police. They had to act with absolute precision. On May 18, 2026, at 5:45 a.m., a tactical team breached the villa. Arthur was asleep. Before he could reach his control panel, he was pinned to the floor and handcuffed. Inside the villa, police uncovered a massive digital operation. Hidden behind a kitchen wall were hardware wallets containing all $50 million in stolen Bitcoin, completely intact. He had been living entirely off smuggled cash. Led away in chains, Agent Jenkins looked him in the eyes and called him by his real name, Ethan Cross. The prodigy stayed silent, realizing his freedom ended with an automatic heartbeat from technology he thought he controlled. Ethan was swiftly extradited back to the United States. He now sits in a maximum security federal facility, facing up to 25 years in prison. The investigation revealed the true motive behind the great crypto heist. Ethan didn't want luxury. He was driven by a pathological obsession with beating the system. But in the digital age, absolute invisibility is a myth. Every action leaves a trace. Every fugitive eventually drops a footprint,